Tonight we're talking about careers and earning potential, and it is dear to me for a couple of reasons. Number one is I was actually teaching this lesson today to my CP students, my CP economics students. And second reason I like it so much is because I am actively trying to help my son, who is also looking for a job, not also looking, but like my students, looking for a job, looking for a career, and trying to improve his earning potential. So I have been sneaking some of these ideas to him in some phone calls and conversations, and hopefully my students and my son will benefit from this. So I use Nearpod every day, and I also use cartoons every day, and I love to stick these colorful, happy thoughts and texts to have the kids at the beginning of the lesson extract some meaning. I don't want to focus on that because tonight is all about three different districts in Lexington County possibly looking for new careers and increasing their earning potential. They walked out. I haven't seen that in South Carolina except for the red group. I haven't seen them do that en masse like that since a couple years ago. So let's go ahead and jump in. I've been told to introduce myself and say a little bit about me for those who have. I don't know. I did a webinar earlier, and I think I used their stock slides, the Future Scholar SE Economic stock slides, and I use the same picture. I've still been teaching for 33 years. This is year 34, and trust me, I've been dreaming of using some of these methods that I want to talk about and some of these new careers that I talk about. Since it's been 28 years, I dream about it on a daily basis. So tonight we're going to do knock out a few check boxes that the administrators look at, take care of a few objectives all in one lesson. Your standby, your normal one that you can put at the top of every economics lesson, understand basic principles of economics. But I made these other three a little bit darker so that we can take a closer look at analyzing factors that affect long-term and personal income, long-term earning potential. Specifically take a look at geography, geographic factors and social factors for that earning potential. And then with just about everything in economics, evaluate the cost and benefit of what to do after high school, post-secondary options. Not necessarily push people into college and into debt, but to take a look at some possibilities that don't involve $20,000 a year, $40,000 a year, $60,000 a year. The new South Carolina state standards, the ones that were passed just recently, specifically instruct us or ask us to take a close look at these factors that impact personal income and long-term earning potential. So when I saw this was a new standard, I started thinking, well, what in the world am I going to do to teach that to the kids, and are they even going to be interested? And sure enough, these kids are all looking at how much money they're going to make, how much they're going to enjoy their new jobs and their independence once they graduate, once they get out of high school. So I got this from 2012 when we had just, I guess, recovered from the last recession, the last Great Recession. It still holds true to today, and I guess it will for the next year or so, that it is going to be tough. And graduates go out into the real world and they say, gosh, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? How much am I going to make? And this is where a lot of them end up. This is where my son ended up, and desperately looking for not just a job, but a long-term career. You can see that this is not the unemployment. This is not the GDP cycle that a lot of us teach. This is the unemployment cycle superimposed over the the depressions or the recessions that we've been witnessing. The depressions and the recessions end up coming in cycles. And sure enough, just like clockwork, right after the recession's over, you start to see the downturn of the unemployment rate, which means people are going back to work. So I think that we've turned the corner. I hear that we've turned the corner. And if you look at this, I certainly hope that we've turned the corner. This was the unemployment situation, which everybody was talking about how wonderful it was and how we were at a full employment situation. We are on or even past our production possibilities frontier limits. And then the bottom dropped out in March. And as it looks, record-setting unemployment rates are going, well, down. It's getting better. And so what is in store for our students if we teach? What is in store for us if we walked out and we're looking for new jobs, or if we're retiring? Hopefully not that long line at the unemployment line. So to leave the introduction on a happy note, I found this one. Actually, this was the one I used today in my class, where it got people thinking about how much dough, how much money that they were going to make, and how to find their dream job. So speaking of dream jobs, what I'd like to know is what are your jobs? What are you presently doing for a living? I noticed that some of you in the I don't know what you call these things, in the Partridge Family box, or not the Partridge Family, the not Addams Family, but the
Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch box. I noticed that a lot of you are teachers, but if you would just post your hello and what you do for a living, and if you're a teacher, do you teach middle school, high school, personal finance, economics? I've been teaching economics for decades. I want to say right at 30 years I've been teaching economics, but I've had government added to my plate. So I'm at Ridgeview High School, and not just teaching economics anymore, adding government. So I missed out on that. I missed out on the election. So hopefully that the kids won't be falling asleep. They'll still be interested. So virtual high school. I feel like that. I feel like all of us are teaching virtual high school math. Wonderful, wonderful. 6th grade. Bless you. Dana, I taught 6th grade for 1 year, and wow, that was enough. The buttons were just popping off left and right. You could hear them popping against the wall. Those kids were growing so fast, and the hormones were flowing. Good for you. More power to you. Let's see, Crystal. World history, American government, economics. Goodness gracious. 3 different preps. I hope you're not teaching 6 classes like we used to do. Airport high school. I think I have 2 nephews that went to airport, and wow, lots of preps. I guess I can't complain anymore with different levels: honors economics, CP economics, government. All righty, 7th through 12th, another middle school saint. Wonderful. Blythewood Academy. Hey, Andrea. I missed our times together. And let's see, Spanish. Goodness gracious, 38 years. Well, hello to everybody. And Jen Brady Vincent. So you're the one in the middle. 35 years. So you guys are good at what you do, and you have been doing it. So maybe, just maybe, you can give me some tips at the end. I don't teach, I teach different levels, so I teach this lesson at different days. So I'll be looking for your help at the end to teach the next batch that's coming my way. Well, this is what we're going to do today. I guess we could say it's tonight, because it got dark around 5 o'clock. I want to show you a 2 cents video, and 2 cents video is one of the most interesting groups of people that put together videos on economics, at least for me, economics and government. I find 2 cents videos better than some of the slower ones. The Khan Academy videos, no offense, they drag. They were novel at first, but they're pretty slow. And then a little bit too fast are the oh, what's his name? He goes ridiculously fast. My kids can't pick up. Well, let's take a look at the video first, and that'll set the stage. And then what I want to do is talk about how your students can start their career and increase their earning potential by looking at 5 different categories. And so the whole lesson, the whole evening, I guess, will be based around those 5 different things that we'll look at to help them out, help them get a job, help them increase their potential, and things to look at to give them a chance. Things like career opportunities, where the jobs are. For half of my kids, I'd say different jobs that don't require them to go to college. And what we'll see is that they make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 even without 4-year degrees. And then if they take those not so great career opportunities, how can you increase your earnings and move up the ladder? I want to take a little bit of time talking about soft skills. I have talked to so many people who say that you know, that you need to send us kids that have soft skills. You need to send us kids that will not press the snooze alarm, get out of bed, show up every day, have the ability to teach, and we'll take it from there. So I'm pretty darn sure after we debrief for the evening, there'll be some commercials, and I will bet you, Amanda will send you a survey, and then we'll be done. So the best words you can hear during a webinar is probably should finish early. Probably. Best 5 words you can hear. All right, well, let's take a look at this video. 2 cents, talking about college majors worth it.
So we can't hear the video. You may want to stop sharing your screen and just present that tab.
What, sweetheart?
We can't hear your video. So you want to stop sharing your screen and share again with just sharing that tab.
Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And so I've never worked with Zoom. Whoops, never worked with Zoom before, but it sounds like this is very similar to the Google issues that we have. How's our sound now?
Okay, stop sharing.
Tammy, can you hear me? Still no? Nothing.
No. So I can post the link in the chat box so that they can watch independently. That's what Stephanie recommended. What is the title of this one? College majors?
College majors are worth the money. I could do a summary. Well, I'm sorry about the lack of sound. I'm glad that the closed caption was underneath so we could get 2 cents out of that video of 2 cents. But what I like most about that video is that they don't try to push anybody into going to college, and they talk about how yes, it might very well pay off depending on depending on the job that you get, and you know, in the long run, I suppose will pay off. But um, you don't want to make those life changing, life morphing decisions at 18 years old. I do also like the options that they give you. Instead of going to college, um, They say cut your cost of college in half by going to a tech school or going to the local um, 2-year college, or get the basics, get your fundamentals taken care of for free or for real cheap. Throw in the fact that after you get your core courses out of the way for cheap, and maybe even paid for by the Life of the Hope scholarship program, you can go to USC or go to the local state university and live at home. I offered that up to my children. Nobody accepted, but it would have gotten them those same diplomas for next to nothing. So keep an eye out for those ISA agreements as well. They're very interesting if you are going to go into journalism or photography, or some kind of career that's not going to bring you in a lot of money, because if you're given 3.6% of a very low, relatively low income, then you'll come out easy paying for college real soon. Anyway, this is a skeleton that I wanted to use for tonight to take a look at the factors that impact income, and talk a little bit about each of these, very briefly about each of these. The first one, and the hot topic, is go where the jobs are. My son got a degree, he got a diploma, and he's all smart and everything, except there's no job available. And if you take a look at the job growth rate, the percentage of how fast these jobs are growing, I went to the BLS.gov website and just pulled up the first screen, and you can see where the jobs are. What areas do people seem to be hiring? That video talked about supply and demand, and where is the demand for jobs these days? What areas are we looking at? If you want to jump in, Stephanie?
Yes.
I thought you were gonna jump in. You were gonna unmute your mic. And where are the jobs at these days?
Healthcare.
Healthcare. You look at all these baby boomers and all these people getting old. They're you don't stay alive to 65 and then pass. You are 75, 85 years old, and that all costs money. And so the jobs with the baby boomers, with the millions of people getting older, are in healthcare. And the other area, if you look at the number one fastest growing job, number one and number three actually are in energy. Number one, number three, and I think there's another one down here just a little bit, derrick operators for oil and gas. And whatever that is. So, I mean, you look at these jobs, that's where there's hiring, and not for cheap either. Look at these things, 52,000. I looked up the average income, the average salary of a South Carolinian. Average per capita in 2019 was $31,295. So these jobs, if you take a look at them, wind turbine, solar power installers, these are jobs straight out of high school. And a lot of these they're not necessarily local. You're not going to find any wind farms around here, but if you can travel, if you're just out of high school and you don't want to go to college, you can certainly find some good paying jobs who are hiring. This was the link that I was talking about, the BLS.gov website that didn't pan out. I wanted to spend a minute talking about the jobs that you don't need a diploma for. And I did a little activity with my kids today with Mentimeter.com. And I asked them what they wanted to be when they were going to grow up and when they graduate from high school. And these kids were all over the place, from neurosurgeons, doctors, and lawyers. But a lot of them had dreams of being photographers, professional athletes, and a lot of things that you could do without a college diploma. What was a very popular answer was welder. One student was really excited about going into the Navy and being trained for free, actually getting paid to train for underwater welding, where he could make a fortune. So, you know, these kids are thinking about it, and there are a lot of jobs out there that you don't have to have a diploma, and that they'll train you on site. They'll do all the training. What they're looking for is soft skills. What they're looking for is kids who can learn and kids who can communicate. And look how much they're willing to pay them. For transportation, storage, distribution managers, I heard, I think it was yesterday, people talking about someday everyone's going to be employed by Amazon. Amazon is hiring anybody and everybody. If you look at the pay, though, the pay is amazing. The fact that you don't have to have any college education, that they'll train you on site. But look at the projected job growth rate. It doesn't look like there are a whole lot of you know, good paying jobs, but it's not like they're exploding, not like the wind turbine installers. You look at the elevator installers and elevator repairs, they're making 80,000. They're making almost 3 times as much as the average person in South Carolina. And if you look at the growth rate, 13% growth rate in these jobs. You know, do a little on-the-job training, and you're making triple of what everybody else is making. An interesting opportunity after high school, straight into detective work and criminal investigators. Whew, that just gets me. My wife and I are watching Blacklist, and we're into like season 5. So everything is a mystery. Everything is a problem to solve. I just wish I were getting paid $77,000 to solve the problems. Another problem is that not a whole lot of growth in these particular jobs. So, you know, these jobs are great if you can get them. You don't need any training. They'll teach you on the job, but and they pay great. But if you look at the projected growth, they might be hard to get. Transportation inspectors, they make 71,000. Again, moderate term on the job training, not a college diploma or a college degree. You want to work at the Postal Service, average is 70,000. And again, on the job training. Just one problem, projected negative 26%. So there are good jobs that are high paying after high school. Gaming managers, you can see they make over 60, almost 70,000. Farmers, ranchers, over 60,000. But almost all of these, except for this one, almost all of these, you'll see that the growth rate is going down. So I wanted to take you into the opportunities, the job growth projections. Take a look at what the hottest jobs are. Of course, they're in healthcare and energy, but they're not necessarily the highest paying jobs. And then you've got some high paying jobs that kids can get right out of high school, but they're going to be tough to land. Another area that kids need to be aware of is the geography. How much you're going to make depends on where you are. And I found this cool interactive website which takes you all over the United States. And I took a snapshot of this one because I wanted you to see Lower Manhattan and how expensive the highest, the least affordable in the country. You look at these brown areas, and that's where I can't afford to live, and have to take a 45-minute, hour-and-a-half drive if I were to move to New York City. But I did make it available for you guys. If you want to click on the link, it will take you to, I think the closest place is, I tried Lexington, where we are. The closest place I could find was Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just want to show you what this thing could do, and then I'll leave it with you. Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you use this in class, it can show you the cost of living and how much taxes are, what a typical house costs, utilities and things. And here's the best part, you can bring it down to wherever you live in South Carolina. So little geography lesson, but also here's Shaw Air Force Base, Sumter, bring it over to Lake Murray, and here we are. So you can use this interactive map to find out the cost of living basically everywhere, and see what they pay, see what the average pay is, and see how expensive things are and how far that goes. Now the problem I have now is how to get back to my my Nearpod. All right. Well, geography is a factor that determines your income. If you're going to live out in California, you could take that map and go out to California and see how expensive it is. When you see a job that is available at $68,000. Sweetheart, am I sharing my my Nearpod screen?
You're good.
I'm good. Okay. If you see a job out in California that is offering $68,000 and saying, "Hey, come work for us," and you say, "Wow, I'm a teacher. I'm not making that in South Carolina, but I could teach out there." You can show your kids that the cost of living is going to make it unaffordable for you to head out to California and keep your same level or comfort level or standard of living. So geography certainly can dictate how much you're going to make. Human capital is another area that determines your income. And I gave my students an article yesterday, and it was talking about the fact that high school students are not prepared for college and career. And it's a very, very, very short article. And I wanted to just offer that up to you all to take a look at and to read. And I've got a little activity. I was talking about those little interactive formative assessments that Nearpod offers. One of them is a little fill in the blank activity that I want to use after this. If you guys would, I don't know if you can open up your Nearpod link to the website. I attached it so that everybody could read it. It's like a 3-minute read. And then I want to ask a couple main ideas out of this thing. Are y'all able to open it up and read it? I wasn't aware what Nearpod or what Zoom would allow. Yeah. So it's just a little short 3-minute article.
There was a question earlier that I was just waiting for a good time to ask in the chat box. Do you know what ISA agreements are? I think that was mentioned in the video.
Yeah, I learned about those on a Planet Money podcast. They're agreements with colleges. There aren't very many colleges, and I don't know of any colleges around here that offer it that are local in South Carolina, but I think maybe one up in North Carolina is the nearest one, where they have underwriters who offer offer deals. It's like we'll pay for your college, and you go for 4 years, and when you get a job afterwards, you pay us. I think a random number is like 3%, 6%, 5%, just depending on how well you can negotiate. If you pay us 3% of your salary for 20 years, we will pay for your college. And so you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about finances. We'll pay for it all. And, whatever job you get, if you get a great job, you give us 3%. If you get a bad job, you give us 3%. You see a lot of people, like I was saying, you see a lot of people with photography jobs and journalism jobs and teaching jobs take those deals because 3% of, starting salary in South Carolina is like 35, 40,000. 3% is not that much. You don't see very many doctors doing it. And so, I don't know, it's risky, because if you end up getting a real good job after college, you're paying a whole lot more than somebody who doesn't. And I don't like not knowing how much I'm going to have to pay back. I like knowing exactly what I have to pay. But this is certainly an opportunity. If you don't get a job, it pushes it back. I'm not sure what the details are about whether there's any incentive whatsoever to get a job. It would be funny to make one of those deals, to get your diploma and then never work a day in your life. And I guess the joke is on them. I didn't pay that much attention to it back then, but you know, for some people that was a way in, a surefire way of getting in. All right, well, you know, what I do with this, what I like to do with this this kind of short article in class is follow it up with one of the things that Nearpod has available. It is a cute little thing called Fill in the Blanks. And if you look at your screen, you can open up your own personal, I hope this thing works for you guys, open up your own personal, I think it's 5 sentences with a little word bank, and you just drag the answers to the correct spot from the article. Don't worry if you miss it. I just was hoping to show you the technique, or the gizmo and the gadget that Nearpod offers. But if you'll just take a minute and drag and drop, we'll take a look at the answers in seconds. Oh, look at Sherry. Sherry is the first. Oh, Sherry and Stephanie. 5 out of 5. Everybody's 5 out of 5. So, you know, just a way to extract the main. Whoop, we won't show names. Let's hide those student names. If you take a look at the answers. Oh. Oh, goodness. Okay, I can't go back to the screen that shows me everybody's score. But anyway, it's a way to pull out the most important concepts, the most important things, and get some feedback. Oh, and take roll if you're looking to do it that way. Get everybody's score that way. So human capital, not so fantastic an outlook, but as far as geography and job growth projections, those two things are pretty helpful. One of the areas that probably is not the happiest outlook is the skills that are required. I found this infographic about the availability of students or availability of employees with good soft skills, with critical thinking skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills, and listening skills. And if you look closely at these big orange ones, these big orange dots represent how difficult. 64% say it's difficult to find kids to hire out of high school and out of college with critical thinking skills. 54% find we can't find any kids with communication skills. 55 for both the listening and interpersonal skills. And that's a problem, because if you look at this graphic, which came with it, you know, the skills that are in demand are human skills, the communication, listening, critical thinking, and interpersonal, and all that other stuff that they're leaving either high school or college with. It's useless. It can be filled by a machine. You know, all the history, the the technology skills, it just, the ability to repeat tasks, it doesn't do them any good. And so how can we use that information? I wrote down here some different ways that teachers that you and I can develop soft skills in the kids that are going straight off to the workforce. I try to incorporate in the activities once we went to e-school or e-learning, breakout rooms. I used to love group work, but you really can't do that. And I don't know if we can be able to do that when we get back. So breakout rooms and have them work together. And, if you set 6 or 7 different breakout rooms, somebody's got to take charge. Somebody's got to become a leader. I give my students independent research where they have to go find information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics websites or the CIA World Factbooks, looking at countries and economic systems, and go into groups and discuss what they found and information that they could use and information that was not usable. I give my students parallel readings so that they can manage their time and have a project that goes on outside of class where they do all the work outside of class and then set a due date. And I stick to the due date. And what's tough for me is to set a hard deadline and to insist upon the project or the book or whatever being due on that date. And if they don't have it, if it's not there, they take a 30% deduction on anything that's turned in late. I don't know what you guys do, but we have a 7-day late policy, and that doesn't encourage time management. But with projects and big grades, it does, because if they get a perfect score on their project or a perfect score on their book that they do, the book reports that they do, they're still only going to get a 70, which is like a 3-letter grade deduction. And then presentations, how to develop those soft skills, have them do presentations. And as painful as they are for me, I endure them to help these kids get a job after high school. So the last thing, and probably the most important thing, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And my son has painfully found that out. It's all about your networking. And so I read a few articles and I read some things on how to network for a job. And basically they say, get your name out there in social media, social networks. LinkedIn, I guess, is the go-to. And make arrangements to get face-to-face. It's hard to say no if you're right there in their face and you're talking with them. One of the advice, some of the advice is given is to become friends, focus on the how can I help you? Let's do things together. Let's take this, have coffee or do something. Not focus on your resume. Don't be pushy. Don't try to do it quickly, and don't try to force your resume on them. I like this one that they recommend: fight your fear, and find something that you're not good at, and get better at it. Jump in and just make it so that you have to do it. My biggest fear, believe it or not, is speaking in front of people. So I became a teacher. Anyway, offer help when it has absolutely nothing to do with the job or getting the job, and always follow up politely. So, a lot of the kids don't realize that, you can be the best qualified person, but if nobody knows about you, you're not going to get the job. And as teachers and people out in the workforce, you have probably seen so many times that the next person who gets the job, the teacher who gets the position, or the football coach, or the athletic director, it's all about who you know, getting that foot in the door and having something above all the other qualified candidates. So I told my son, and these are some things that I told him to get his name out there. Throw a networking party. Just have a party, and I know it's tough right now, but just invite some people over and tell the people that you invite over to bring 2 people, or to bring no more than 3 people, but just just tell them what you're hoping for, and try to bring in people who might advance your career, might get you a job or advance your career. Always be a lifelong learner and advance your skill set. Look for a mentor, somebody who's in that area or position that can help you, and ask them for advice. These other things I thought were pretty interesting, things like joining a professional organization so that you can bring that up and you can talk about it, and especially this gym membership, not a gym membership, but maybe a zoo membership or rock climbing membership, things that you can do, that they do, that you could do together and talk about. And you don't have to do them with them, but just talk about them and have something in common. And the last one is dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have, like this guy. So all kinds of things that we can do to teach our kids how to increase their earning potential, or how to get a job, and a job either after high school or after college. And you don't have to invest, you don't have to get into $20,000, $40,000 in debt to do that. So I hope that there were some ideas. I hope that there were some links or some things that you could use in your classes when you present this topic. The kids really do want to know. They really are interested, and maybe some of these things can help facilitate that. So that is all I have as far as information. There is a cute little game that I love to play with my kids called Occupational Uno. It's just like Uno. It's got the same rules and same everything, except it's not. It's educational. This is a live link, and if you're interested in this game, the slides I'm sure Amanda will send to you, the Nearpod slides, and they'll all have live links in them. But I can also get you the link to create this deck of cards that is played just like Uno, but it's all about job growth. We talked about job growth and the possibility of there being a job out there, the type of job that is out there, how much it pays. And because it's $50,000, the national median wage, according to the BLS.gov website, it is a 5. And so when you play Uno, you could match the number, which is basically how much they make. You could match the growth rate, or you could match the requirements that students have to have, or that people have to get those jobs. And the next slide shows that those requirements, if it's a master's degree that you have to have, or if you could just go straight in after high school. So it's a cute little game, and the kids love it because they're not listening to me talk. I assume that we're going to go back someday, and we're going to be face to face. And this is something that's not hard to make. You don't need a whole bunch of decks of cards, and you don't need a whole bunch of cards in each deck. So it's pretty easy to make with cardstock if you're interested. I have all the cards on that link if anybody wants to do that. So I think the commercial time from Amanda is coming. They're gonna tell you what to do with all this. Amanda?
Well, Kurt, you never fail to you never disappoint. I guess is what I should say. You were awesome, and your information was fantastic. Even though I teach the same thing as you do, and I live in the same house, I always learn something new from you that I can share with my students. And I suspect that our participants did as well tonight. So we certainly want to thank you. And Kurt's so funny. He says that I give a commercial, but of course, all of this webinar series, so much of it is thanks to the South Carolina Financial Literacy Master Teacher Program and the Future Scholar 529 program sponsored by the Treasurer's Office. So like Kurt and several other participants on our Zoom tonight, he is a teacher who we have identified who has applied to be a part of the Master Teacher Program. And as part of his agreement, he conducts professional development workshops either on behalf of SE Economics or he helps other teachers in his district or school, just like our other financial literacy master teachers. And as economists, we understand that teachers need to be incentivized in order to continue to spread the good word and do good work for our students, because I'm a classroom teacher as well, and I know that our work is really pretty much endless, right? So we certainly appreciate all that you guys do. And that being said, as part of the Master Teacher Program, if you guys are interested in using this material to share with your students, teach a lesson that is related to this, fill out a fairly simple form, providing some evidence of your student work, and you will be eligible potentially for $100 as an incentive for your teaching a lesson and submitting your student work. So that is all, of course, thanks to this program, because our state treasurer is so passionate about financial literacy and helping our students in grades K through 12 be financially literate before they graduate. If you are interested in doing something like Kurt has done, or our other financial literacy master teachers do, we are accepting applications. Our new cohort, we will begin accepting January the 1st. So we welcome you to apply, and please feel free to reach out to either Chandler or me with any questions that you have. We are always happy to answer those for you. So that's my little commercial about the Financial Literacy Master Teacher Program. We also know that this may wrap up some of your 5th webinars in this series. And for those of you who have attended 5 or more, thank you so much. Again, we're going to continue to incentivize you because your time matters. And so please fill out the evaluation, and we will be working diligently on those participation checks over the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you guys have some extra cash for your Christmas shopping or whatever kind of shopping you want to do. What questions do you guys have for me or for Kurt? I just want to let you guys know in those, in that form and the evaluation, I just want to reiterate that we really value your feedback. Your feedback really helps us to plan future workshops. And we are always refining our practice and coaching each other on the things that we do well to reinforce those, and the things that we need to improve on. So always give us your honest feedback on that. And Kurt, can you drop that link actually, I'll send that out. That might be confusing. Don't drop that link.
Okay. It's also a live link. If they're in Nearpod, you just click on it and it goes straight there.
So just so that you guys know, Kurt has projected a different form. The form that he is projecting on his Nearpod is the form that you would complete once you have completed your lesson with your students and taken pictures of your lesson and your student work. But I know that a lot of teachers like to preview that. I'm happy to follow up with you guys if you have any questions on the requirements. It's not a super easy form, but it's also not super complicated. We just want to know that our students are getting quality financial education instruction. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Patty.
Question for you.
Yes.
Will there be more seminars offered before March?
Yes,
Okay.
there will be more before March. Chandler and I are actually in the process of planning our spring series, which will begin in February. So as soon as we have the plan together, we'll roll that out. So just so that you guys know, we have conducted, I think, 14 different webinars in the course of the fall. And so we are going to continue to do that in the spring, but scale it back a little bit. So we will not be offering one every single week because I think we bit off a lot. So we are going to be offering, I think, 8 or 9, but we will still continue to offer the incentive, and there will still be standards-based webinars as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions? So guys, we're at 8 o'clock. I just want to let you guys know that we appreciate you coming tonight. I will send a follow-up email to you guys with Kurt's information, his slides, and also information about the incentive for teaching a financial literacy lesson to your students. So we'll go ahead and sign off tonight if there are no more questions, and we look forward to continuing to see you guys in the spring.